Fire escape engineers, inspect a summary video here in Lowell. This fire escape here, it's a complex fire escapes. I'm going to be doing a video on just this section all the way down to the very end. What we have here is a fire escape that's a combination of bolts and welds, not tied back into the building. A lot of welded rails, look like they were made on the spot or brought in, but this is a lot of fire escape welds. A lot of these grates need to be reinforced simply because all the spacers are rusting out and have rotted, so we need to reinforce a lot of this grating to make sure that there's no separation. This staircase and that other staircase is in need of immediate repair. The fire escapes treads here are pretty bad, a lot of rust. One of the main concerns is that boiler pumping out all that steam. All that steam is eating this entire fire escape system. I highly recommend that those pipes be rerun out 2 to 3 feet up alongside this fire escape and up about 4 to 8 feet here, and then exhausting themselves, because that way it'll stop feeding steam to this fire escape system here. We got 1/2 inch of rust buildup on this right side, 1/2 inch rust buildup on this right side. I mean, on these are the left sides. 1/2 inch rust buildup. All these stairs. This one has been repaired. As you can see, a quick little weld with a bolt and a screw, which is a band-aid repair, and somebody did re-bolt it. But all these welded treads need to be torn apart, remove 100% of the rust, and re-bolted. No re-welding. Fire escapes older than 1978 cannot be welded on. They have lead. So the fire escape with lead cannot be welded. It must be a re-bolt. We've got cement spalling in this area, and a lot of this is from that steam coming up here. It'll cause humidity, ice jacking, rust jacking, and it'll pop. A lot of these areas here need to be filled. Once we clean this out, we need to fill that with after proper re-bolting. We need to seal that up so water doesn't get in there and rot. We need the clips. We need a bolt clip up there because those welds are not verifiable. Same thing at the bottom. We need clips down here because these bolts are not verifiable. See all the cement that's popping up there? And what happens is if you let it go long enough, this is what occurs. There's no cement in here at all. So this whole staircase, this is a life safety issue here. This whole staircase is being held by a piece of steel that's 8 to 12 inches deep buried in the wall, and there's no cement in it other than on the left side. So a little bit of cement on the left side, but there's no cement. Again, I need clips to basically, whenever you have a welded connection, you can x-ray it, or by popping in a bolt. So put in a 2x2 angle clip, bolts here, bolts there. We basically don't need to nullify, we don't need to do anything about these welds. So same thing with all these welded treads. Every single one of these welded treads must be bolted to nullify the fact that they're welded, but a lot of them have expansion, so a lot of these have to come out. So 100% of those treads got to come out, then get put back, re-bolted. 100% of these treads must be taken out, and there's a tightness here, so we might have to take the whole staircase out, re-bolt it, then put it back on. It's another problem. A lot of these welds, these railings are all welded, so we just need simple clips. I either verify this weld, or I nullify the need to verify this weld as soon as I put in a clip in here with a bolt and a bolt. So all corners, all welded corners must be reinforced. I don't have to verify that weld. Let me see if I can continue here with the inspection. The grading continues to be the same issue. Buildup of rust on a lot of these angles. They build up a lot of rust. Cement situations, it's not as bad on this building. Probably 25% failure rate on your cement. Let's look up. Same problems upstairs. A lot of debris. You got to keep a lot of this debris. That's an obstruction rule. You got to make sure that there's no debris, no trash bags, nothing up there. There is a piece here that the spanning of the grating is incorrect. So whatever I say on this fire escape in detail really applies to that fire escape over there, which is going to be the next one. But you see this this welded grating here? It's unacceptable. We have to run a new piece of angle underneath it because you can't have grating suspending in the middle. You got a lot of cement popping out here. Freeze and thaw. You know, this is called from either rust jacking or ice jacking, and all that needs to be repacked. Look at that one, all open. Okay, so there's been some patchwork. The fire escape is painted, so a spot paint job is all you're really going to need. Again, more evidence that these are all rotting out. None of them have separated, but in the next 5 years, some of these are going to start to separate, and the children's foot is going to get caught. Here's a situation with all the treads, and we'll get to see some underneath shots, but all these treads are welded, so every single one of these needs to be verified, and you got to clean them and then rebolt them. In some cases, if they're tight and they're welded, as soon as we put a bolt in there, we don't need to verify that weld anymore. So every single one of these needs to be bolted. The clips at the top need clips rebolted to nullify the weld. The support, that's welded. We need to bolt it and then seal it so from future intrusion of water. Clips down here. This is a lot of Mickey Mouse activity, a lot of welding with bars. This is typical of, just somebody in here that really doesn't know their trade, but it's holding, but it's not the code. Get all these connections. This staircase over here, again, more bars that are popping. This staircase is problematic here. We got 3 treads ready to fall on this one, and this is what's going to happen. It starts to split. Okay, the rust jacking just splits your steel, and your treads are ready to go. Look how bad that one's ready to go. Okay, so, and from above you can start seeing daylight down below. So definitely got some issues on all this. Again, Mickey Mouse clips. We need a proper clipping there, proper clipping there. We need to bolt through the support. We got a lot of water coming into your building, so as soon as we get these all properly secured, we're gonna create a dam so that water doesn't get and hit the building anymore. Some of the tiebacks into the building, we need to, basically seal up the steel up against the building so that you don't get this huge water stain and water getting into your building. A lot of these welds are just been compromised. You can see the rust that's getting in there and popping all your welds. And this staircase going up has the same issues as the staircase that I'm in now. As you can see, rust jacking is just tearing all your treads, and these things are ready to go. So there's probably a 25% failure rate just on this fire escape. There's very little evidence of maintenance. This is a hex head bolt. This is a typical Band-Aid patch. But normally, in order for me to put in bolts, I'd have to remove 100% of the rust. That hasn't been done. They just came in here and basically welded, bolted, and prayed. That's the only thing that's been going on here with this. So again, all welded joint connections must be reinforced with a clip or a bolt, so that way we don't have to verify any of these welds. So there's going to be a lot of just bolting, just basically no welding. This is anything older than 1978. You can't burn on it, you can't weld, must have a renovator's license. This fire escape is painted, so you don't have to worry about anything related to the painting. Spot painting and full repair will pass this fire escape for the 5-year rule. Any questions? Let me see, this staircase here and that staircase going down, same issue. Again, clean out all the treads and make sure that they're rebolted. Again, somebody broke the handle on this thing, so this thing needs to be replaced here. I would recommend some sort of alarm that every time this opens, some sort of a horn goes off so that people will stop using this as a means of getting in and out of their apartment. These stairs down below are all full of rust, ready to fall. Somebody did come in recently. This is within a year's weld. These Band-Aid welds here, but the rust is still in there, so these treads are ready to go. We've got some other treads here ready to go. On these feet need to be cleaned and tarred so that they 4 to 6 inches above grade, so that the snow doesn't eat them, because right now the snow is eating these due to landscaping. That amount of dirt and that amount, so that foot needs to be tarred. Once it's cleaned, we need to tar those feet so that you don't have the rotting at the base. These feet are rotting at the base as we speak, but as soon as we clean it and tar it, you're not going to have that issue anymore on that fire escape. And if I may, can you open up that door for me? And I'll and again, see all the steam going up on this thing? That steam is constantly giving steam to this whole this staircase. Will always be problematic until you move that steam pipe. And I think you can only go out and straight up, and then bolt it to the side of that railing platform right there, another 6 feet above that, and just have it exhaust in that general area right there, which should be more than sufficient. Okay, we got a lot of rusty tears. See all those green dragon tears coming down? That's an indication that water's getting into your building, and you've got water damage somewhere, either between the veneer So for example, all this repair work that's going on right there is probably due to the fact that water's been getting in from there, from there, from there, and from there. All these will constantly cause the veneer on this brick to split from the masonry wall inside. There's another problematic spot right there. We got treads that are falling on this one. I'm going to walk this one right now. And again, the feet here, same thing. You got to get all these feet. So this fire escape I'm going to do is going to be a little bit faster. But cement issues, feet, get those things out of the, you know, if they're going to stay on the ground with snow, we need to get them tarred so that, and we got to remove this tread because this tread is just rotting on the ground doing nothing here. Rebolt 100%. The handle on the other side looks like that. Got to replace the handle. All these treads, rebolt these treads because there's a lot of rust buildup in every single one of them. They've all been welded. I highly recommend that because there's a lot of children, that 2 more lines be added, top line and a bottom line, in case a child was to fall, they won't fall through. At the same time, people trying to break in, they can't sneak in through the 2 lines. And over there you have the same issue. That needs a couple of additional lines there. There's a lot of children in this complex here. All right, same situation here. Got a lot of welds, a lot of rust buildup. See the rust buildup inside there? Got to clean all that out. Any support must be rebolted. Clips, this is like tack welds holding up this whole stringer case. We need clipping. So this fire escape is going to go from a welded fire escape to a 100% bolted fire escape, backing up a lot of welds, a lot of cement work. Again, it's only 25% of the building right now has issues with the cement. Typical situation here. All these treads are all welded. 100% of these treads are going to get knocked out, rebolted, and put back in. Clean silicone shut with 50-year silicone. You can start seeing the split. What happens when these things start splitting, and so every single one of these gratings is at a different point, but there's still some life left on these. We would just basically want you to put a sandwich on or near this, which is a 1-inch piece of flat on top, 1-inch piece of flat down below, which is either 1/8 or 3/16. Create a sandwich from above and from below. Use round-headed bolts on top, and basically by creating a sandwich that is the full length of this, we basically now still get to use this grating for another extended period of time. A lot of debris here on this fire escape, but this fire escape is, again, everything I explained on that fire escape is what you have to do on this fire escape. All the welds have to be verified and reinforced with a clip. No clips at the bottom. All these treads are popped, full of rust. See? 100% rust. Look at that one here. A lot of rust. Every single tread. So every single 100% of the treads, I need clips at the top of my stringers. I need some more lines here in case a child falls, they won't fall through. Eliminate some of the liability. And a lot of times these mats need to be removed out of here because these mats accumulate snow, debris, wood. So create a system so that people can't come out of their doors and use this as a means to get in and out or put out their trash. So this full staircase, rails left, rails right. Huge rust on the left, but also, let me just go down, huge rust on the right side. So you got to be very careful. Wouldn't recommend anybody be on this fire escape until repairs take effect. Again, spot paint job is all you need. Any questions? Fire escape engineers, Inspector Meneses here. We're here in Lowell. 800-649-3333.